Hey guys, this is Hayden Hurst, NFL tight end. I'm partnering today with Red Recover. We're going to run you guys through some drills. I started using Red Recover last year, my 4th year in the NFL. It just helps me on Mondays after games, get my recovery process started, get back into the fold of the week, and get ready for the following Sunday. If you want to recover like me, use Red Recover.
Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They're committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. Property damage claims to your home, business, or condo as a result of a hurricane. Welton Rayom can help. Water, mold, fire, smoke damage, Welton Rayom can help. Call 954-966-4646.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
Oh, great. You got a doorbell camera. Now you got a front row seat to your house getting robbed.
No.
And there's nothing you can do about it.
Get out of my house!
Oh, Mom's jewelry. There goes the TV. I'm sure it'll turn up at the pawn shop.
No!
Just because you can see them, that doesn't mean you can stop them. With Slogans, you get 24-hour monitoring, a free home security system, and professional installation. Plus, a free doorbell camera.
Free?
One that'll actually work for you. It's not total security unless it's the Sloan Shield. Call 1-800-ALARM-ME.
When you move, you need a reliable company led by passionate folks, eager to assist its customers during a transitional process that needs to be smooth. Call Essential Moving Experts at 844-368-5750 for all your local and long-distance moving needs. You can rely on Essential Moving Experts. Mention the Big O Show and get $150 off. Family owned and operated, they offer free 30-day storage, full-service moving, fully licensed, bonded, and insured. Moving was never so easy. EssentialMovingExperts.com.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
Red Recover now offers a simple-to-use, professional-grade light therapy device designed to help your dog heal and live a healthier life. Red Recover emits red and infrared light therapy based on the same science that NASA developed, all in a soft, flexible housing pad powered by a convenient, rechargeable lithium-ion battery. Say yes to science and give your dog the care it deserves with Red Recover.
For
over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc., ownership, management, sponsors, or website. It's time for Dolphins football. Welcome to the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins Pregame Show on the Sports Talk 305 network. The show is mastered by Sean Stanley and Chad Shobe. EJDconstruction.com is a fully insured liability and workers' comp. Call Eric if you need a custom home builder or general contractor. 305-433-4843. Here's your host, the Big O.
All righty. Yes, sir. Good morning all over the world. We are ready to rock and roll and get ready for a little Miami Dolphins and a little New York Jets. Today I'm mixing it up. I didn't put on a Dolphins hat, okay, because normally you guys know I put on a Dolphins hat. And so I'm going deep here, okay? I figure I got to mess with the mojo today on the show. So put on my shirt for my UK Dolphins fans out there. There you go. So for my UK friends out there, we got the sticker right in the back. I don't know if you see it. You can't see it when you take off the billboard there, Sean. But see, Phinz Nation UK is always right up here. But of course, NorCal and all that good stuff. But Phinz Nation UK, I'm wearing your shirt today because I gotta change up the mojo. I figure I gotta go across the pond. I got to go reach out to our English friends and say, let's mix it up. We need all the help we can get. We don't have Teron Armstead today. I mean, well, I'm sure it's going to be he's out. He's listed as doubtful. And so Phinz Nation UK is our left tackle today. Okay. I got to change it up. Got to try whatever I can try to mix it up here and help the boys, sneak into the playoffs. That's all. But anyway, good morning to one and all. Appreciate all of you out there as always. Very important day today. There's a lot of things that can take place today. A lot of minds could be changed. A lot of thinking will go on into the off season about what you've got to change. And there's a lot of people that have to kind of also perform. And today's the day for Mike McDaniel. Okay. Skyler is kind of like an afterthought. He's so far down the totem pole. It's not even funny. Okay. And everything else is so far down the totem pole. Really. Today is really all about Mike McDaniel. Okay. It's about his 5-game losing streak. It's about winning in adversity. It's about overcoming adversity, and I talked about this throughout the week on the show. I've watched Pat Riley with 8 guys, and here comes Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen and company, and Rex Chapman scores 39 points, and they win the game. I was there. I saw it personally. I've watched Shula over the years. And, the part that sucks to be a head coach for the Miami Dolphins. See, for you youngins, it's different because you didn't see Shula. You didn't really watch the master coach. So you can't use it as a reference. All you have is a whole bunch of shitty coaches here since, Don Shula. And mind you, they've all been shitty. All of them. None of them worth a damn, including Jimmy. Yeah, he built the defense. Outside of that, get out of here. But all of them shitty. But I've watched Shula win with Doug Peterson for his 325th victory. I watched him win with an offense that was just about running and a little passing with Greasy. And I watched them win with Woodstock and watched them win with Marino. And, that's what real coaches do. They find ways to win in moments that you don't expect it. When we went to a strike years ago, and they had to go get scabs. So Shula has scabs just like everybody else. Except his scabs win more than the others. Except his scabs make less mistakes than others. They all got scabs, but somehow or another Shula's scabs make less penalties. Interesting. Wow, I wonder why. These are the things. It's Eric Spoelstra going 31-10 somehow with Hassan Whiteside and Tyler Johnson and what was the other Johnson and Dion Waiters. And are you kidding me? You're going 31-10 during that stretch. I think they beat the Warriors a couple times. That's what good coaches do. Good coaches adjust. They find a way. They find a way to overcome sometimes. I'm not telling you you're going to do it all the time because I'm realistic. I understand you can't do it all the time. But Mike McDaniel has failed every time. And that's the problem here with Mike McDaniel right now. And why this game is the Mike McDaniel game. I mean, that's just the truth. Mike McDaniel has to find a way to win this game. It will not be easy. It will be incredibly difficult. This will be, watch it be a 30-3 game. Everything went their way. They got a whole bunch of turnovers at the end. And I'm like, well, I thought it was going to be hard. No, but seriously, this should be a really hard game because the Jets have a very good defense. Their offense is terrible, but their defense is exceptional. And Miami's offense under Skylar Thompson isn't jack shit. So it's a problem. And then Miami's defense isn't necessarily good. That's a problem. And I get it. So it's a problem having 8 guys when Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen are coming to town. It's a problem when you're stuck with a bunch of scabs and you got to find a way to win. It's a problem when they give you Hassan Whiteside and James Johnson and Tyler Johnson and Dion Waiters. You got to find a way to overcome, man. You got to find a way to show me that you can coach. That's what Ron Rivera has had to do all season long without a quarterback. The guy was winning games with Taylor Heineke. You got to do your job. And so really today is all about Mike McDaniel. Every single moment of today's game is about Mike McDaniel. And I'm not saying it in the sense that if he loses, you fire him. That's ridiculous. He's shown you enough that you got to bring him back next year. But what I mean by this game meaning so much is, and I'm going to be the first one to tell you, Mike McDaniel loses this game. Okay, I like him, and I'm going to bring him back next year if I'm the owner, and I don't mind if he comes back, but I will tell you he comes back on a hot seat. Yeah, because you're not a really good coach if you can't overcome adversity at times. I see the Baltimore Ravens. They lose their quarterback. They have other shitty quarterbacks stepping in. They just find ways to eke out a victory or two. And this guy does it all the time, John Harbaugh. He has injuries all the time to his team. Last year, he was ravaged with injuries. And you see them overcome and find ways to win games. You know, in Carolina, they're finding a way to win now with Sam Darnold. Hell, they might have won a game or two even with P.J. Walker at quarterback. You got to do something about this, man. And Mike McDaniel has to grow as a coach. And today, if you're running the ball well, are you going to stay with it? Are you going to compliment your quarterback, something you didn't do with Tua? Are you going to compliment your defense, something you didn't do, have not done all year? When you know they're not good, but you want to throw them back out on the field and ruin your drive. You got to show me some intelligence. You got to show me some creativity. You got to show me some coaching. You need to put Skylar Thompson in positions where he can succeed. This game is all about Mike McDaniel. Every single ounce of this game is about Mike McDaniel. I don't really care if they make the playoffs or they don't. It'll be fun if they make the playoffs. You and I know they're going to get trounced by Buffalo, probably without Tua, because I don't think Tua will play. But still, if they make the playoffs, for me, it's not so much about making the playoffs. It's about winning a game without your quarterback. And the good thing is, I know the Jets are shitty, but here's the problem. They do have one of the best defenses in the NFL. That's not up for any kind of discussion whatsoever. So that becomes a hell of a test for your offense with your backup quarterback. And you have no excuses. Zero today. I'm not giving you a break whatsoever. Your team better be the one that lines up right, Mike McDaniel. Your team better be the one that is not making mental errors on a consistent basis, Mike McDaniel. Your team better be the one that is coached properly, where you add the balance when you have the opportunity, Mike McDaniel. So find a way. Find a way to win this game. Find a way to use Mike Gesicki, a nice big target for your young quarterback. You've done it the last 2 weeks. You failed all year miserably. That's one of the big strikes on Mike McDaniel. His ignorance, his refusal to use a very talented player in Mike Gesicki, a playmaker, a money player. How do you not find a way? Why? Because you're above it. Your offense is above him. I go back to Woodstock. I go back to Greasy. I go back to Marino. I go back to Doug Peterson. I go back to watching Don Shula run all kinds of offenses. I go to Eric Spoelstra, where he's running Hardaway and Mourning. Well, not he was part of the assistant coaching staff there, but he ran the replacement players. He ran the big three. He ran what's it called now? What he's doing with Bam and Tyler and all that. He has had different teams at times. Hell, in one season, the blood clot years, he would have to change offenses every 2 months. Show me you can adjust. Show me you can maximize. You can make people play. You can make Duncan Robinson one hell of a three-point shooter. Show me that you can improve Dwayne Wade's shot. Show me that you can get the most out of Hassan Whiteside than anybody ever has, or Anthony Johnson. Well, not Anthony. What was the other Johnson? Not Tyler. What was the other one? James Johnson? Was it James?
James Johnson.
Yeah, that's it. James Journeyman Johnson played his best basketball of his entire career right here. So it's up to you, Mike McDaniel. to get your players to play the best that they can possibly play today to eke out a victory. Because that's what's going to happen. You're not going to be routing these people because they've got a really good defense. All on Mike, man. All on Mike. Dolphins, by the way, are favored by 3.5. The over and under is 37. Dolphins minus 195 on the money line. The Jets are plus 165. As expected, they elevated the Giraffe, Mike Glennon, and also Brendan Scarlett. Add a little help at the linebacking core and special teams and all that good stuff. Teron Armstead is listed as doubtful in today's game. He has never played during Teddy and Skyler's games. He has missed all of the Teddy and Skyler games. This will be the 5th game he will miss this year, and his streak will continue of never being able to play an entire season. And while I incredibly respect the fact that he has played through injury, he still missed 5 games. Still missed way too many games. And, unfortunately, he is too unreliable because even if, let's say, Tua stays healthy next year and gets on a run and the team is really good, any guarantees Teron Armstead will be there for you for the playoffs? Not really. I give him credit. Tough son of a bitch will fight through it as much as he can, but you can only fight through so much. You wonder if Tua's playing, does he play? Right? Because he has played with the hip, the toe, the knee, and the pec. And then there's a part of me, I was telling a friend of mine yesterday, maybe they don't want to play him also. Maybe they're just like, you know what, man, you're here for the next couple of years. We got you under contract. Why are we going to? You can recover from all these injuries in the offseason. You'll probably need a little toe surgery. You'll be ready for next year. Why put you out there where you can completely blow a knee ligament, completely tear the pec, whatever it is, and all this stuff you can recover in the offseason? We're not really going anywhere. There's probably no shot Tua plays next week. He hasn't even practiced. He hasn't even gone through light workouts yet, which is usually the stage you go to the week before you play, not the week of the game. So he hasn't even gone through it the week of the game, which tells me he's not going to play next week. But Teron Armstead, it's an interesting dynamic. Okay, hell of a player, hell of a person, hell of a leader, but man, is he injury prone. Wow. And he is absolutely unreliable. That's for sure. Greg Little, by the way, will get the start. Fisher, which many of you mentioned throughout the year, they finally ended up signing him, and it became nothing. It was a complete waste. He went to the IR. That's why he's retired. His body's broken down, and he can't hold up. Jerron Christian from Kansas City, they picked him up off waivers. He could be activated and backing up Greg Little today, which tells you what they have at left tackle, which is, wow. It's tough, man. It's tough. Chubb, X, and Teddy are all listed as questionable. Teddy's got that dislocated pinky. If you got a dislocated pinky in your throwing hand, there's no way you're going to throw the ball well. Any of you all have played football, right? You've all thrown a football. That pinky is incredibly important to throwing a football. He's not playing. That's probably why they brought in the Giraffe. So the Giraffe will probably be the backup. Maybe Teddy's there as an emergency third guy, whatever, desperation, and he'll be there to hand off all the time or something. I don't know. I have no idea. Cedric Wilson, by the way, is the other player listed as doubtful with the hip, along with Kendall Lamb and the ankle. He did not practice on Friday, so that's not good. So those are the injuries for the Miami Dolphins. We'll give you the inactives when they come across the board. If you want to send in a question or comment, you can do it there on the YouTube chat board, on the Welton Rayom text line at 855-912-1056. That's 855-912-1056. on the Welt and Rayom text line. You can also reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. And by the way, if you are looking for a law office that knows how to get it done, criminal defense, business owner claims, commercial litigation, personal injury, condo damage, homeowner damage. I had it when we had a bunch of idiot kids thinking that they were fast and furious and went through the wall of my house. And so, Progressive was trying to screw us by offering us 1/5 of what Welton Rayom really got us. 1/5. Yeah. 20% for those of you that aren't good at math. They were offering us 20% of what we got. And then when Welton Rayom were done with Progressive, we got what we needed in order to fix everything back to where it was. They weren't even willing to give us the money that we needed to actually repair the thing the way it's supposed to go. Like, are you out of your mind? No. So, same thing for all of you out there. If these insurance companies do not work for you, so if you have a car accident, homeowner damage, condo damage, you name it, commercial litigation, personal injury, before you call the insurance companies, you call Welt and Rayom. 954-966-4646. That's 954-966-4646. Anywhere in South Florida, call them. Free consultation. Doesn't hurt. You don't even have to go to the office. Free consultation. You call the guys, Jeff or Dan, they'll take care of you. Tell them that Big O sent you. 954-966-4646 for Welt and Rayom. They will bring the insurance companies to their knees, which is amazing. All right. You can also send in a super chat, obviously here on YouTube, and of course on Cash App or Venmo. That's where the best place, because of course we get 100% of the donation there. We only get 70 on YouTube because YouTube likes to keep the money. They keep 30% of it. Don't you think they've made enough? Anyway, but you can send it in on Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show on Cash App or Venmo. Let's see what we got going on here. Let's go to our first super chat before we go to the chat board. True Fin Fan 78 says, in one word, what best describes this season? Chaotic. Yeah. It's just one streak to another, injuries the entire time, crazy shit like losing a first and a third rounder and a cornerback that waits too long to have surgery and doesn't ever report. Chaotic is what I would call it. That would be my word for it. Michael Cody, I'm in town for 2 weeks from Buffalo with my wife and 3-month-old. She was okay with me attending the game, so I'm here by myself. Please win today. Michael, we're all hoping they win, man. It's not easy. It's hard to, this is one of those games. It's hard to feel, confident. Why would you feel confident? Seriously. The only person that feels confident is a blind ass fan. Because there is no proof out there for you to feel confident. Skyler has looked terrible every time he's played. McDaniel can't win without Tua. Teron Armstead's not playing, probably. I mean, I'm like 99% sure he's going to be on the inactive list. You're on a 5-game losing streak. There's nothing about this that lifts any kind of confidence. Okay? The only type of fan that is convinced or whatever today is the fan that's not realistic. That's all. You're lying to yourself. You know what I mean? We're all hopeful. We'll all be rooting for them, but you can't be confident. You can't have the kind of confidence you had in the first month of the season or during the 5-game winning streak. That's when you had confidence. But after five games that you've lost, there's no way you can be confident. in game after game after game. And, here's the screwed up part about this season. This is why it is so chaotic. This is why it is so, I don't know, why it's psychotic too, because it drives you crazy. How many one-score losses do you have on the season? Okay, because you're sitting here, you're 8-8, right? And you probably have had almost every game on a one-score basis, which leaves you like, wait a minute, what? You mean we were this close to winning that many games? And that puts it into that puts it into a bigger tailspin. It makes it even more frustrating, because if you lose so many games by one score, then what you're doing is you're screwing up the game by one play, by a coaching decision, something along those lines. That's what's happening to you. And that's even more frustrating because there's a crap ton of games that are winnable. You start with Cincinnati, you lost 27-15. Okay, that's not a one score, but that's because Tua went out. The Jet game, super tight at the fourth quarter. Then all the turnovers and then the short fields, 40-17. That game wasn't really 40-17. Minnesota, you lose 24-16. These are the games without, obviously, with Tua, right? And that's a one-score game right there. Then you lose 33-17 against San Francisco. That one you got completely dominated. And you got the Chargers, 23-17, one score. Buffalo, 32-29, one score. Green Bay, 26-20, one score. New England, 23-21, one score. So you end up with 5 games. 5 out of your 8 losses were by one score, which just screws with you, dude. Because we all know you do certain things. In that Buffalo game, you lose by one score, but Tyreek Hill and Trent Sherfield dropped touchdowns on the same drive. Braylon Sanders does a knuckleheaded move and stops when he had a clear touchdown. That changes the whole game. And you could do stuff like that throughout in those 5 games, that there were moments that you could have won. Missed a field goal last week, right? Lose by 2. It's frustrating, man. It's frustrating. That's why this season is one of those, and that not only leaves you frustrated, but this is why I say today is all about Mike McDaniel, because the reason why you're 8-8 is because of Mike McDaniel more than anything else. It reminds me a lot of last season. There were a lot of you that were hung up on the winning streak, right? And then you failed to look at what happened the first half of the season, because that's the reason why you didn't make the playoffs. And then you played well against the bad teams, but you played well against the bad teams down the stretch. But when you had all the good teams early on in the season, you lost like dogs. And this year, you look at it now and it's, man, you've beaten good teams. You've beaten the Bills. You could have beat them twice, actually. You should have beaten the Bills twice this year. You beat the Ravens down by a ton of points. You've had some good games, but you got to find a way to overcome. There's got to be a way to overcome today. We'll see. Michael, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it. Leon Fresco, Gladiator, our season will eventually, but not yet. Well, we'll see. We'll see if they can get it done today. Big O, what would Mad Dog have said about Mike McDaniel? I don't know. It's interesting. Brujeria. They need to bring out a guru and clean whatever is going on. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Get some little old lady from Hialeah to get him despojo going. Chubb working in concession stands today. Yeah. He'll be out there. Peanuts, beer. This season is the same as last year. Beat the bad teams and lose versus the playoff teams. No, that's not true. They beat Buffalo, playoff team. They beat the Ravens, a playoff team. So they have beaten playoff teams. The fucked up part, I hate to say it, they should have beaten Buffalo, twice, which would have been a playoff team. They should have beaten Green Bay if, he can come back for the second half because he was lighting them up in the first half. They should have beaten that. Should have beaten the Chargers too, man. You lost by 6 points in that game. It's ridiculous. Yeah, they competed against the good teams, but with Tua. That's the key. With Tua. The lady from Poltergeist. That would be good. Can we hire your lawyer to sue the team for emotional trauma? You could try. Call him for a free consultation. See if you've got a case. By the way, Jeff Welt, who's probably watching right now as we speak. There's a good chance that Jeff is watching. That man is suffering just as much as you all are, okay? If you ever need Welt and Rayom and you get to talk to Jeff Welt, Dan is not nearly the sports fan. Dan's a pilot. He has a stunt plane and all that stuff. I mean, he's a maniac. And Jeff is the hardcore sports fan, and he's a rocker like me. And so Jeff and I can sit there and talk music for days, not hours, days. But he's also a passionate South Florida fan, like passionate. I'm pretty sure he might be at the game today, actually, if anything. So Jeff is one of those guys that is hurting as much as all of you out there. So listen, he would know if you have a case or not. Give him a ring. Let's see. Carlos says, you're not a fan of PFF because it does not take into account injuries with the game. We beat Buffalo when they were injured. I'm glad we won, but that was not a great win. We make it out to be. Any win against Buffalo is a great win. I'm not sure what you're talking about. What was the Dolphins not injured too? I must have missed it. Was Byron Jones playing in that game? Right from the get-go? By the way, when did we lose Nick Needham? We lost him pretty early. I don't know when we lost Nick Needham, but did Nick Needham play in that game too? I know we lost him early, but I don't know when we lost Nick Needham. Let me see the box score. If he's there. Because I'm not sure now. Everything is just a blur. No, he played. He played. He had a pass defense and everything in that game. So we lost Byron in that game. I mean, we didn't have Byron for that game, so that was our starting corner there. I don't know who else, but I'm sure there were other people injured in that Buffalo game. I don't know who, but I'm sure there were other injuries. Everybody has injuries, my brother. That's Carlos, to not give the Dolphins credit for beating Buffalo. Come on, bro. That's like ridiculous. Like, if Kansas City beat Buffalo and Buffalo was injured, it's Kansas City. Anytime Miami beats Buffalo, that's a hell of a victory because Buffalo is the best team, whether they were injured or not. It didn't matter. That's it. What actually helped Miami, Carlos, if you really want to look at it, was the heat. That's the part you left out. That's what chewed them up in that game, was the heat. And that's part of your home field advantage. But to not give them credit, please, dude, that's ridiculous. That's just silly bullshit. That's just you being that's just you being a sourpuss fan. That's all it is, bro. Nothing else, nothing more. That's all. It's ridiculous. So you're not going to give them credit for Baltimore either then, right? Down 21, right? No, because that's not impressive at all. Baltimore was also injured. Come on, man. Jason says Buffalo didn't have a bunch of forget it. You know what, Jason? It's actually kind of stupid to even entertain this conversation. Really. Love you, Carlos, but it's just plain fucking stupid to not give Miami Dolphins credit for winning that game. So we'll completely disagree on that dumbass statement. Pats, by the way, are a 8-point underdog. Okay, so everything is set up for Miami today. It's up to McDaniel and his staff to get it done. The Pats are going to lose like dogs today. As I told you, was it Friday or was it Friday that he spoke to the team? That DeMar spoke to the team? When DeMar spoke to the team, that was, as I said earlier in the week, that was Italia Shire, Rocky, win. Those guys are going to come out like gangbusters. And they're going to put a quick 30 spot on the Pats, take a lead, and then maybe rest Josh Allen at some time in the second half, I would imagine, after they're coasting. But I think they're going to want to – remember, DeMar is going to be watching. You know, I think he flexed for them and everything. And you know, he said, come on, get it done, and all that kind of stuff. So I would easily lay the 8 points in this game. Put it that way. I mean, easily lay the 8 points in this game. They are going to be so fired up. They're going to be fired up not just for this week. They're going to be fired up for the entire playoff run, however long they last, even if they can make it all the way to the Super Bowl. Buffalo is going to be one of those teams that they're already excellent. Now they're going to be incredibly motivated. Mind you, they are well rested. Okay? Physically. Emotionally, obviously, they've been through some pretty tough, but they didn't play a full game or anything last week. So they did not beat up their bodies too much in that game. Now they've got an opportunity. They'll be a lot fresher than the Pats will physically at this point, and they're way better than the Pats as it is. So -8, oh my God. Run. Okay, that's for me, that's the direction I'm going. Easily lay the 8 points against the Patriots. Now that's up to the Dolphins now. They have handed you everything. You know, the Dolphins put themselves in a position to make the playoffs. And now they have screwed their position every single week. You're going to finish the job? You're going to finish screwing it up? Or are you actually going to do something about this and win the game? Need to know. True Fin fan, the first 3 games of the season were against 3 teams who are currently in the playoffs. To say that wasn't a good accomplishment is just stupid. I know. It's Carlos being a sourpuss Dolphins fan. And so since he's so pissed off about everything and frustrated about everything with the Dolphins, he wants to then pile on himself by saying that wasn't an impressive victory, which is absolutely asinine. Okay? Because the one thing that everybody talked about going into that game, well, if the Dolphins are ever going to be anything, they've got to compete with the Bills. And if it's one thing that they've done this year, they've competed with the Bills every single time, home and away. And they should have won away also. But Mike McDaniel screwed up as a coach. I can't do anything about that. Players screwed up. Can't do anything about that. You know, it's like yesterday. I had this guy. Well, Tua's played bad for the last month in December. And I'm like, I can tell that you're just one of those Tua negative dudes. Because anybody that says Tua, see, Carlos Salgado would be the guy that says Tua played bad against Buffalo also. Right? Because it's ridiculous to say Tua played bad against Buffalo a couple weeks ago. He played outstanding. He did everything to win that game. Others did everything to lose that game. He did everything to win that game. So the Dolphins hung with Buffalo. That's the part that Carlos, you know how, You know how ridiculous the statement that Carlos Segaro just made? Because he conveniently leaves out that the Dolphins are completely injury-riddled in Buffalo, and they should have won that game. But he wants to use the sorry-ass excuse of the first matchup. See what I mean? That's the problem we have with some of you out there. You're not objective. Like Carlos, you have no objectivity whatsoever. You're just a frustrated Dolphins fan, and then you just want to pile on, and then you're making up stuff. Because, Carlos, if you really want injury-riddled, what do you think about the Dolphins in December at Buffalo? But you conveniently leave that out. Listen, man, if you're going to comment on this show, you better be prepared, and you better actually bring up something that has some substance, because if not, I'm going to slice it apart. Okay? Like that weak-ass statement by Carlos. So, it just... And the other guy, oh, well, Tua sucked for a month. Really, dude? He kicked ass in Buffalo. He was kicking ass in the Green Bay game. He got concussed. What do you want him to do in the second half? Guy was playing with birdies and stars in his head. You could tell by the throws he was making that were just like, what the hell is going on here? So he had a great 6 quarters during the month of December. But unfortunately, the same crap that has hindered him this season and his entire career, injuries. But to say, oh, Tua sucked in December. Well, he didn't. He sucked in 2 of the games. But the other 1.5, I don't blame him, man. In the second half, he had a reason. Obviously concussed. And this is why I will not play him again. Because that concussion that happened to him in the Green Bay game, that was a simple tackle. That was not and he got concussed from that. That tells me that his brain, his head, is at a point where it gets easily rattled right now, and he needs to rest and recover. I know that's been kind of a thing. First of all, they got to even get to the playoffs. They got to even win this game if they can. Okay? But we'll see. If they make the playoffs, I certainly would not play Tua. True Fin Fan 78 says, so true, Big O. We were decimated at Buffalo. I know. But that's Carlos using his negativity because he's, a sourpuss right now. And I get it. We're all sourpusses like Carlos. But we got to be objective about this. You can't have it both ways. You can say, well, the Dolphins are building up a team. Okay, they got to take down the Bills. That's how you measure them. And then when they beat them, you say, oh, no, that one doesn't count. Well, what do you mean it doesn't? What kind of stupid-ass crap is that? You can't do that. And then you conveniently leave out that Buffalo eked out one against the Dolphins, an injury-riddled Dolphins team that should have won that game. That's the difference with all of you out there. This is the part that you leave out when you bring up Brian Flores last year, right? Because he lost to all the bad teams and won against the good teams. The problem is you're leaving out that they were competitive against also most of the good teams. And they barely lost those games. That's the part you're leaving out. That wasn't the case. The case is normally they got trounced by the good teams. But again, who wants to be objective? Really, why should we be objective? What do you got there, my man?
Should we read into now 11:42? No inactives yet from the Dolphins.
Nah, no, because I believe it's 45 minutes prior to kickoff.
Okay, because they're usually out by 11:30. Is usually the time.
Yeah.
Every other team out, I believe, so far.
Yeah, maybe they're working somebody out and trying to find out if they're ready or not, or some crap like that. That's the only thing that I can come up with. That's
never mind. They came out. They just came out.
Oh, they just came out. Yep, here they are. Let's do it. Tua Tagovailoa, Noah Igbenogany, Cedric Wilson, Brennan Scarlett, Kendall Lamb, Teron Armstead, and Tanner Connor. Pretty much everybody you expected. But didn't they just elevated Brennan Scarlett?
Yeah, they did the same move that Jacksonville did last night. The kicker. They elevated a kicker and then put him on the roster, but they made him inactive.
So there must have been a linebacker that was kind of banged up, and he felt good enough to play, and so then they don't need Scarlett, and that's probably why they were just using it for protection purposes if somebody couldn't play. By the way, last year they lost to Buffalo 35-0. Tampa Bay 45-17. Buffalo 26-11. They lost to Tennessee 34-3. So they beat New England, who was nothing special, but they were a playoff team last year, 33-24. New Orleans wasn't good. The Jets weren't good. The Giants weren't good. Carolina wasn't good. The Jets weren't good. They beat Baltimore. That's where Tua came off the bench, remember, 22-10. And they beat Houston. See? That's the difference. They actually were very competitive against the good teams this year. And again, I mean, why even be objective? Doesn't make any sense to be objective, you know? All right, let's get to some of these super chats that just came in. Leon Fresco, will Jets play hard to give Shane Falco a good end? I don't know. We'll see. We shall see. I think the Jets will play hard because it's a divisional game. Players have pride. I think overall, Flacco's a pro. He's going to try to win the game. I think, Quinnen Williams and all those nasty dudes that they have on defense, they're going to want to get after the Dolphins and spoil their chance. So, yeah, I think they're going to play hard, dude. And I got to tell you something. Everything I see, I like Robert Salah. I think he's got the goods, dude. I like the way he carries himself. So I'm a Salah fan. I think they're going to play hard for him. I would not underestimate the Jets whatsoever in this game because the Dolphins aren't very good. They're banged up as hell. Yes, sir.
I wanted to say on the inactive list, did you notice a name that wasn't on there? I didn't realize it until Barry Jackson pointed it out.
No.
Eric Ezukama is active.
Oh, okay. All right. So they'll have him return.
Wilson's out, but I mean, again, people were asking, is he ever going to be active? Here you go.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Maybe they'll have him returning punts or something like that. That's probably what they'll do. I don't know if they'll. You know what? Maybe instead of Braylon Sanders, they have him running the same route. So we'll find out. Hey, listen, every time he's played Braylon Sanders, he has screwed it up. He wasn't ready for the moment. And that's bad on their part. You can't play people that aren't ready for the moment. That's your job as a coach, to make sure you put the people out there that are ready for the moment. Ismael Vargas, thank you for the love on the super chat. Remember, you can also send in through Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show your questions, comments, insults, compliments. Once in a while, we even get a compliment. Ismael Vargas says, if a player clears protocol, does it need to be announced immediately, or can that information be kept in-house, Big O? Just wondering. No, they will report it once they've cleared it. Yes, they report the stages. So, yes. Rude Awakening, thank you for the love on the super chat also, my friend. Appreciate you. Big time. Eric Ezukam and Skylar Thompson duo injected into my veins. Dolphin Don says, Agrio. He's a great coach. I still think we have 1-2, though. Oh, I don't know about great coach. I'm not saying Salah's a great coach. I just like the way he carries himself. We'll find out if he's a great coach. I like the way McDaniel, carries himself. Does he need to improve a little bit? Hell yeah, he needs to grow. What I find ridiculous is the people that want to just, let's fire Mike McDaniel already. And it's like, why? He proves he has the kind of mind for this game right now. He knows his stuff. Does he need to tweak some of this? Does he need to do a better job and be a little bit more disciplined with the run at times and some of the decisions? Yeah. Does he have to maybe not be overly aggressive at times, which makes it even harder for Tua? Yes. But there's so much there to grow from compared to some of the buffoons we've seen here over the years. I would not give up on Mike McDaniel. I think he's already earned the opportunity to come back next year for sure. But is he perfect? No. But man, come on, we gotta, I get it, man. It's 25 years of like terrible, terrible football, but we're not that far away here with this guy. If we can tweak a couple things here. Billy Shaw, thank you for the love on the super chat. Billy Shaw says, thank you, good sirs, for all you do. Thank you. We. Because without Sean and so many others, we would be absolutely lost, my friend. So one thing that doesn't go past me, I can't do this by myself. Okay? Without, especially Sean, I would be lost. But, obviously Chad, and then obviously all of our insiders and our amazing sponsors. And by the way, thank you all, because I think we noticed the threshold after we got off on Friday. We crossed 30 million audio downloads on our podcast overall. It's pretty cool. So 30 million downloads. Thank you. All of you out there since we started this podcast a little over 2 years ago. And we took 6 months off. So thank you. 30 million downloads we crossed on I think it was on Thursday or Friday. I forgot. I think I noticed it Friday, and then Sean created the GIF out there so we can send it out. And thanks to all of our sponsors, to all of our subscribers, and please subscribe to the program. Help us get to 20,000. We got to get to 20, man. Let's get into the 20s now. We're at 17.1. Let's work it out there, and let's get to 20,000. We really need your help. By the way, at the end of the month, I will be in Mobile, Alabama for the Senior Bowl. It is our 21st Senior Bowl. I haven't been to the Senior Bowl in 3 years, actually. I've missed the last 2 because of the pandemic. I have not gone. And so, because I went 3 years ago, the pandemic hit right after. I believe in March or late February, March, whatever it was, is the pandemic hit 3 years ago. And I went to the Senior Bowl, which is always late January, early February. Now it's early February. It used to be like just late January. Now it runs into February. But we'll be out there covering the event. I know the Dolphins don't have a first-round pick, but we'll be out there gathering information. Plus, I'm sure Chris Greer will talk, because usually the general manager will have a press conference over at the Senior Bowl. So we will cover that. I'm thinking, by the way, the show might start an hour earlier in Mobile. Okay. So for that week, or for a couple of days, for I believe Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of that week, it'll be a 9 a.m. start, actually, for that. So because I got to get to practices, and there's double practices, and I don't want to do the show in between or too late in the afternoon into the evening. So I probably will do the show a little earlier, and how we normally end at 1:30, we end around 12, because then I got to get in the car and go to practice and go check out the practices and go cover the event like we normally do. So we will do all of that, ladies and gentlemen, and we will give you the latest from the Senior Bowl, and we'll cover that. And then we'll go to the Combine also, like we always have. I'm not going to go to the East-West Shrine, because the East-West Shrine and the Senior Bowl, they cross over. Dumbest thing. I hate that they're doing this. I hate that they're doing it in the same week. It just puts everybody in a difficult position. I love going to the East-West Shrine and then traveling to the Senior Bowl after that and gone for 2 weeks. But unfortunately, they've changed the schedule up and they cross over each other, so I can't go out to Vegas to go to the East-West. If the Dolphins were, healthy and making a run, I might have gone to the East-West Pro Bowl and then down to the Super Bowl, but unfortunately, that's not going to be the case, ladies and gentlemen, which absolutely sucks. True Fin Fan, thank you again for the super chat. He says, what team do you hate most in the division? For me, it's the Bills because what they did to Marino hurts to this day. I hate the Bills. I'm always going to hate the Jets more than anything else. Yeah, because too many of their fans are obnoxious and they've never like accomplished anything. You know what I mean? Like they haven't done anything since 1969. Nothing. And so that to me is my problem usually with Jet fans. So I will go with Jet fans over Bills and Patriots. So yeah, I'm going to go Jets. Jets are my number one out of the three if I had to, kind of put a finger on it right now. Bitcoin holding strong at 17, man. That is amazing. What else do we have going on in the world here? On another note, Oladipo is killing it. Yes, he is playing well for a game or two. Let's wait. Killing it is actually doing it for like a month. So relax. Big O, I went to the East-West Shrine game a bunch when it was in Orlando. Yes. Yeah, it was in Orlando for 2 years. Then it went over to St. Pete for 7, I want to say. It was in San Francisco for many, many years, like 50. I went to it when it was in San Francisco. Then it went to Houston for 2 years, San Antonio for 2 years, Orlando for 2 years, and then it went to St. Pete for, I believe it's like 6 or 7, something like that. But yeah, I was there when it was in Orlando for 2 years. They were the team hotel was just off of International Boulevard. I forgot the name of the hotel. Actually, I remember this vividly. In that game, in that one of those years, I was there, and it was a Tyrod Taylor year. And I remember Tyrod sitting down and talking to me and all that. Really good kid, man. Once you meet Tyrod Taylor, like you'll pull for him for the rest of your life. Obviously, if he's facing your favorite team, you're not pulling for him. But like one of the coolest dudes that you will meet. I've always, since that week, I've always been a Tyrod Taylor personally, a fan. I don't think that as a QB, he wasn't ever accurate enough. But personally, I got to tell you, he was one of those guys, because sometimes you meet some guys and you're like, man, this is a good dude. This guy knows how to carry himself. He's like, true to himself and all that. And Tyrod was one of those guys. And it was at the Orlando East-West Shrine game. And I remember that vividly, him sitting down with me and talking with me on one of the shows that we were doing at the East-West Shrine. It was fun. I love the game, and I just wish it wouldn't cross over with the Senior Bowl. That's the part that sucks. All right, let's take a quick break here. Let's get ready for hour number 2 of the program. I got a bunch of things I want to get into in hour number 2. Let's get into how Miami is going to win this game. Let's get into how they're going to how they need to attack the Jets and what they can expect from the Jets too. And some of the numbers I think are not going to shock you, and then some may actually surprise you. So we'll get into that. Sean Stanley, of course, driving the program. He is the man that masters this entire platform. You are listening to the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins pregame show as we get you ready for the Dolphins and the Jets right here on the Sports Talk 305 network.
You're listening to Miami Dolphins coverage on the Sports Talk 305 network, brought to you by EJDconstruction.com. This is the Miami Dolphins pregame show with Orlando Alzugaray.
Hey guys, this is Hayden Hurst, NFL tight end. I'm partnering today with Red Recover. We're going to run you guys through some drills. I started using Red Recover last year, my 4th year in the NFL. It just helps me on Mondays after games get my recovery process started, get back into the fold of the week, and get ready for the following Sunday. And if you want to recover like me, use Red Recover.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They're committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. Property damage claims to your home, business, or condo as a result of a hurricane. Welton Rayom can help. Water, mold, fire, smoke damage, Welton Rayom can help. Call 954-966-4646.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
Oh, great. You got a doorbell camera. Now you got a front row seat to your house getting robbed. No. And there's nothing you can do about it.
Get out of my house!
Ooh, Mom's jewelry. There goes the TV. I'm sure it'll turn up at the pawn shop.
No!
Just because you can see them, that doesn't mean you can stop them. At Sloan's, you get 24-hour monitoring, a free home security system, and professional installation. Plus, a free doorbell camera.
Free?
One that'll actually work for you. It's not total security unless it's the Sloan Shield. Call 1-800-ALARM-ME.
When you move, you need a reliable company led by passionate folks, eager to assist its customers during a transitional process that needs to be smooth. Call Essential Moving Experts at 844-368-5750 for all your local and long-distance moving needs. You can rely on Essential Moving Experts. Mention the Big O Show and get $150 off. Family owned and operated, they offer free 30-day storage, full-service moving, fully licensed, bonded, and insured. Moving was never so easy. EssentialMovingExperts.com.
Red Recover now offers a simple-to-use, professional-grade light therapy device designed to help your dog heal and live a healthier life. Red Recover emits red and infrared light therapy based on the same science that NASA developed, all in a soft, flexible housing pad powered by a convenient, rechargeable lithium-ion battery. Say yes to science and give your dog the care it deserves with Red Recover.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
opinions, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. Welcome back to the best coverage of Miami Dolphins football on any platform. This is the EJDConstruction.com Miami Dolphins Pregame Show on the Sports Talk 305 Network. Here's your host, Orlando Alzugaray.
All right, I love it. I love it. We are back. We're back here, rocking and rolling as always here on the program. Thank you all for tuning in on a beautiful Sunday. Let's hope that the boys can actually get it done, man. Let's see. Orange Bowl smelled like piss and puke, but it was awesome. Yes. That's our lovely chat board here. Why would we believe in Chris Grier? He ruined the franchise by screwing up the 2020 offseason. There we go. People just don't get it, man. So much talk about why we're in position we're in right now. Defense destroyed, and our QB issues are all wrong here. Well, I get it. There's a lot of frustration, man. It's a lot of frustrations. The good thing is we have people like Roger Morant and Solo D that can get us in a good mood, in a better mood, you know. So why don't we do this? Let's bring up Rogers. We'll do Solo D's here at the bottom of the hour. Let's bring up Roger here if you get a chance there, Sean, because Roger Morant, as always, although I always enjoy the raps that he does around the pool, because, you know, you can tell that Roger's got a pretty cool house, and so he's always doing it like around the pool. It's always like a really cool scene. But now the last couple of weeks, he's been doing it from his truck, probably in the parking lot of Hard Rock Stadium, which is classic. You got to love it. So here is the great Roger Morant getting us ready for a little Phinz and Jets.
What's up, Phinz fans? Dolphins, Jets. This one's for all the marbles. Who's ready? The Dolphins play the New York Jets. Let's go. Need to end the dreaded losing streak. For sure. Help is needed from, of all teams, Buffalo. We need to beat the Jets, and then they beat the Pats, and we are in. Wildcard route to the playoffs been done before. There's a crack of daylight. Phinz bust down the door. When we're on a game that Phinz has such a gleam, no one wants to face a healthy Dolphins team. We don't work and have the calluses. F. Christen's announced, putting on a better show than the Aurora Borealis. Dimes. Tua delivers in stride. So many stars on offense, other teams are running high. Try to gain some yards and matriculate the ball. Attempt to run against our defense. It's like Simon and a wall. Coach McDaniel, he's so drippy. He will lead us to the crown. Bring us back to glory. Miami Dolphins, Title Town. Title Town.
Waddle.
Title Town. The Dolphins don't move the chains. They score. Waddle, Wilson, Hill, and more. We're headed to the Super Bowl. You know. We've had our ups and downs. It's time for us to show the clowns. Flacco starts. That tells you all you need to know. He was in his prime about 10 years ago. As far as self-proclaimed Opal corner sauce, Hill and Waddle pull up stats at Randy Moss. Time to beat the Jets. Buffalo, do your job. Don't quit on us. We'll see you next week. And get ready for Tua Waddle Hill. What a thrill. Tua Waddle Hill. What a thrill. Tua Waddle Hill. What a thrill.
What a thrill.
Cheetah.
We love it. We love you, Roger. So he gets us ready for a little Dolphins and Jets. Let's hope that they can get it done. Big O should do a show to try and defend Chris Grier. I do it all the time. I do it every single day. So today's challenge, you look at it, and their tight end is active in Tyler Conklin. Garrett Wilson's another guy that's got 1,000 yards. He's only scored 4 touchdowns. Corey Davis averages 16 yards a catch, only 2 touchdowns on the season and 519 yards. Former UMer Braxton Berrios also, by the way. They have some weapons, okay? At running back, their best running back right now, I don't know, man. Zonovan Knight, maybe? I'm not sure. The Tyler Johnson kid doesn't have a lot of carries, but he does have a high percentage. at 5.9 yards per carry. Bogdanovic Knights, 3.8, only 1 touchdown. Michael Carter, a guy that a lot of Dolphin fans wanted, 111 rushes, 398 yards, 3 touchdowns, 3.6 yards per carry. This is not an explosive offense. But the Dolphin defense has not been a shutdown defense, okay? During this 5-game losing streak, the Jets are averaging 12 points a game. They scored 12 points at Buffalo, 12 points against Cincinnati, 9 points again versus the Bills, 31 points versus Cleveland. So the one game was at Cleveland that they scored a lot. Outside of that, it's been 12 points a game. Flacco has played 4 games this season. They have averaged 16 points a game with Flacco. So they average 4 over their average during this 5-game losing streak. Whether it's Mike White, I personally would have rather seen Mike White than Joe Flacco. Joe has kind of turned into kind of he checks down a lot. He's not throwing the deep ball nearly as much, but he still has an arm and he can throw the deep ball, but it hasn't been necessarily in the repertoire of the Jets. But with the Dolphins secondary, you could take that chance. X wasn't on the inactive list, so X will play today. But they don't average a lot of points. We'll see. This is going to be a key here that if you want to win this game, you're not playing against a great offense. Well, make sure you keep them like that, because the job for your offense is going to be incredibly tough. And I really can't pull out the stats offensively for the Dolphins because it's not fair. Because when Skyler's running their offense compared to Tua, most of the stats relate to Tua, not to Skyler. By the way, Skyler, I hope they move him around in this game because that's where he got better. But let me just run this by you guys. Philly's got the number 1 pass defense in total yards allowed in the NFL, 2,902 yards this season. The Jets are number 2 at 3,080. They don't allow a lot of passing yards. They're number 2 in the NFL for a reason. Miami, by contrast, is number 27 in the NFL. They have allowed 800 more yards in the air than the Jets at 3,843. A little under 800 if you want to be exact, 760 or something. But, it's a lot of yards, okay? The yards per catch, Jets are 3rd in the NFL at 5.9 yards per catch. The Dolphins are actually 14th in the NFL at 6.5 yards per catch. So they're really not that much off, and they're right in the middle of the NFL, which you would I thought they would be lower than that. I thought they would be at 25 or 30, actually. 14 is actually surprising. That's why I tell you, some of these stats are kind of surprising. Versus the rush, the Jets are 15th in the NFL. They have allowed 1,900 yards, 4.1 yard per rush, and 14 touchdowns. Miami is 8th against the run. So they're better than the Jets against the run, 1,700 yards. Now they allow a higher average. Jets are allowing 4.1. Miami averages 4.3 yards against them. That's the difference. And Miami has allowed 15 touchdowns to the Jets, 14. Now, here's where those stats get skewed. Those rushing yards, they're counting also rushing quarterbacks. And that's if I didn't feel like doing the homework, but if you take out the rushing quarterback numbers, those rushing numbers would drop drastically because the Dolphins have done a really good job against running backs. So I'm not expecting Zonovan and Michael Carter and Johnson to actually dominate on the ground. I'm expecting the Dolphins to control that. So it's all up against the pass defense that we just talked about. By the way, in sacks, the Jets are 7th in the NFL with 44 sacks. The Dolphins are 13th. They have 40. There's only a 4-sack difference between the two. Not a ton of sacks in this game. So you've got to also, if you're Skyler, you've got to be really smart, man. Don't give up some plays. Get rid of the football. Don't take sacks. And hopefully the line, even without Teron Armstead, can do a decent job. They did a decent job with pass protection last week without Teron Armstead, I got to admit. Interceptions. Miami is 28th in the NFL with only 8 of them. The New York Jets are 18th with 12. Okay? Not a ton of turnovers. By the way, the Texans are number 1 when it comes to pass touchdowns allowed. 13. The Jets are number 2 with 12. The Dolphins are 29th with 27 touchdowns allowed. Did you think that the Texans were number 1 in touchdown passes allowed? That's crazy because the Jets are 2. But I was like, holy crap, the Texans are number 1? Now, Lovie Smith is a defensive coordinator. He's a very good defensive mind, always has been. So it's interesting that the Texans are number 1. Only 13 passing touchdowns against them. So the Jets, you're not going to pass a lot on damn it, what's the name of the quarterback? He's got that funky nickname. What's his name? For the Jets. Help me out there, Sean. Oh, damn it. Forgot the kid's name, but you're not going to pass a lot on those guys.
Are you talking about Sauce Gardner?
Yes, Sauce. Damn it. Yes. So, yeah. 15. Miami has 27 passing touchdowns allowed. Tough, man. Completion percentage. New York Jets are 9th in the NFL at 62.3%. Miami is 28th at 67.3%. So the job for Skylar Thompson will be a lot harder than the job for Joe Flacco. Okay? Now, Miami will be able to run the ball against the Jets. You're going to have an opportunity against them. The question is, will you stay with it if it's working? Because if you're the Jets, you really want to shut down the run for Miami. You don't want the run to happen because that will help Skylar Thompson. That will help Miami's offense. So that's really, the concern there if you're a Dolphins fan overall. Oh, man. This is going to be a hell of a challenge. I do not come into this game with any kind of confidence whatsoever. I'd lie to you to tell you, oh, yeah, no, I feel good about this game, and they're going to win, and this and that. Well, no. Skylar has not given me any confidence whatsoever, and Mike McDaniel has not shown me that without his quarterback, he can actually put up, a fighting, chance. And that sucks. And the last time you faced the Jets, you kept it tight for 3 quarters, and then the fourth quarter, everything fell apart. The offense fell apart. The turnovers, the short fields, all that. You made hell for your team. And that game was very deceiving because it wasn't really that big of a blowout. But this is what happens. And so I can't go into this game with a ton of confidence, unfortunately. I'd love to, but I got to be realistic here with this one. This is going to be a hell of a challenge. You better run the ball if you can. Skylar Thompson better take care of the football. Tyreek and Waddle. I mean, let's get into Tyreek and Waddle. Gentlemen, no more brain farts. No more drop passes. No more running the wrong routes. No more mistakes. And Jalen Waddle, by the way, has to work on that because he's had several games this year. He even cost this team a game all by himself. He cost a game all by himself. He lost a game this year. Jalen Waddle. Jalen Waddle's not allowed to cost the team a game. Tyreek Hill, you're not allowed. I can see a quarterback doing it. I can see a defense doing it. I can see a special teams. I can see a kicker costing you a game. Receivers can cost you games. And Jalen Waddle he cost you all by himself. He cost you one loss with 2 major mistakes he made in one game. That's got to end. This week, whatever the game plan that's put in, Mike McDaniel has to make sure that everybody is on the same page. You have a young quarterback that is a 7th-round pick that is super raw. He's going to make his own mistakes. He's not going to be necessarily on par right now as a raw player. So, Tyreek Hill, my man, you're what, the 6, 7-time Pro Bowler? You got to act like one. And you can't drop any passes. You can't drop any touchdowns. Jalen Waddle, my man, you're an all-pro caliber wide receiver. You're a number 1 wide receiver on most teams. No more brain farts, dude. No brain farts today. Today, you've got to be on your game. You got to be sharp. I don't want to see drop passes. I don't want to see mistakes from players like that. Team can't afford it. Skyler can't afford it. And Mike McDaniel can't afford it either, by the way. So let's just call it like we see it. So, receivers better wake. Trent Sherfield, my man. You had that drop a couple weeks ago. You came back with a vengeance the week after. Keep that kind of level of intensity up. So if they do call your number, you're ready to go. And Mike McDaniel, Mike Gesicki is ready to help you out, man. He is a mismatch on most offenses because most defenses do not have a corner, a linebacker, or a safety that can hang with him or defend him up in the air. It takes a really special individual. And last time I checked, the aforementioned Sauce Gardner is not going to be worried about Mike Gesicki. So, Mike, you're not playing their best defender. Mike McDaniel, he's not facing their best defender. Let's go. The last 2 weeks, you found a way to use Mike Gesicki, and oh my God, he's found a way to help you. Do you know why he's found a way to help you? Because you're using him. So I want the top 3 receivers on this team not to make any mistakes. I want Mike McDaniel to use the right people. And please, you activated Eric Alzugaray. That doesn't mean shit to me. Doesn't mean anything to any of you out there. Get off your little preseason trip because none of that means anything. Skylar Thompson has not looked like anything in the preseason. Braylon Sanders has not looked like anything in the preseason. And Eric Alzugaray can't even find the field. So this is the last game of the year. I hope he's not playing because it's a novelty, because you're trying to satisfy the kid, because he's been working hard all year, and so you're just activating him. If you're doing that, then that's great. Let him be on the sidelines and watch and experience it and all that good stuff. And his parents, hey, I'm activated and all that. Good, great. Don't play if he's not ready. I don't want to see Braylon Sanders anymore. Okay? What's the name of the tight end? Tanner Connor. They gave him 2 opportunities. He crapped in his pants right away. Some of these kids are not ready yet. So Mike McDaniel, don't screw it up also. Don't put people out there that are not ready. Mistakes must be a minimum today. You are not good enough to overcome mistakes. So it's really, really important that mistakes are, almost impossible to happen today. If it happens, look what happened in the other game against the Jets. Mistakes, you ended up getting routed in the 4th quarter. That's a really good defense you're facing. I've given you the numbers. They are going to attack Miami. They're going to try to force. I'm really interested to see in what kind of an offense McDaniel, designs today. I think that's really, really important overall. 855-912-1056 on the Welt and Rayom text line. That's 855-912-1056. Remember, this is the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins pregame show. And remember, we'll be back for the postgame show. EJD Construction has been at this for over 20 years now. They've got a AAA plus rating from the Better Business Bureau. If you live in Dade or Broward, only Dade or Broward counties, 305-433-4843. A lot of our listeners are reaching out to Eric now, and that's his cell number, and they are upgrading their roofs because a lot of people have to redo their insurance policies or hurricane policies, and the insurance companies are telling you, wait a minute, your house is a little too old here. Your roof needs to be updated. And so EJD Construction can upgrade that roof to make sure you pass the inspection, and that way you can get the discount that you need and get your house covered for the next hurricane season. Now is the time to do it. You don't want to do it during the rainy season. You don't want to do it when the hurricane season's coming up. You want to do it now. Now's the time. EJDconstruction.com, fully insured, liability and workers' comp. So if anybody gets injured working in your home, they're not suing you because they're fully insured. So just a tip, even if you don't hire EJD Construction, you hire somebody else, please make sure they are fully insured. Whatever you want to do, modernize that kitchen, you can do it. You want to add a second floor, you can do it. One of our listeners added an observation deck on top of their house. He's got a 2-floor house, and he added an observation deck on top. So apparently he's a cigar guy and likes to hang out and see the sunset and all that kind of stuff. So it's actually really cool. I think he put a TV and everything up there. So that's actually pretty cool. That's an idea, man. That's something that I wouldn't mind doing myself. But anyway, EJDconstruction.com, 305-433-4843, and tell Eric that Big O sent you. And I guarantee you EJD Construction will definitely take care of you. Dude 67, thank you for the love on the super chat. Appreciate you. Mike No Go Zone says, will you no longer be broadcasting from walk-ons? Well, you never know. We're going to be going back to walk-ons, but not for this football season, apparently. Maybe next week for playoffs. I don't know. We're in discussions with walk-ons. We are going to do more stuff at walk-ons. There's no doubt about it. It just hasn't been, finished, the negotiations and all that. That stuff is, Edwin Montero says, you were wrong about a lot of things this year, Big O. I bought Polka Dot because of you, and my wife is mad at me. I believe in my Phinz. We're a streaky team. Edwin, what'd you do? Did you sell your Polka Dot? I would love to know that, because when was it over? I keep buying Polka Dot. I'm not exactly sure what you're doing, but I haven't stopped buying Polka Dot. See, that's the problem is, like I tell you guys, I'm not a financial advisor. You got to do your own homework, okay? Your wife is mad at you because you and your wife don't know jack shit about crypto. It's pretty simple, my brother. Look in the mirror and look at yourself and blame yourself, and tell your wife to look in the mirror and blame herself. Okay? We're in a bear market, dude. Tesla stock is way down, and Amazon. Everybody's down. It's called the bear market. You got to hang in there. You got to stay strong. And then when we get out of the bear market, that's when things will start to climb. I believe Polka Dot will climb. But I haven't stopped buying Polka Dot. See, you're whining like a little bitch because you got no balls, my brother. That's the thing. You're weak in the knees. You can't be weak in the knees in investing. Okay? Lots of people bought Tesla stock when it was up, and now they've lost 74%. But they haven't lost anything because they haven't sold, my man. You don't lose or you don't win until you sell. That's when you lost. But the value might be down for everything, stocks and crypto. It's up to you what you want to do. You want to sell and lose? You go ahead and write it off in your taxes. You want to hang on? If you believe in the stock, if you believe in the crypto, You then reinvest at a lower price. That's what I've done. Every time Polkadot's gone lower, I've put in a little bit more. Every time Illuvian's gone a little lower, I put in a little more. I put more into Ethereum. I put more into Bitcoin. I put more into VeChain. I put more into a lot of my investments that I believe in. Gala. I believe in Gala, and it's gone down to under a penny. And I loaded up at 1.5, 1.6, 1.7. And guess what? We just had a 30% bump. We're into almost 3 cents now. So a lot of the stuff I grabbed, now I've almost doubled on. But the stuff that I got at 4 and 5 cents, I'm losing money on right now. But I'll wait because it'll pass 4 or 5 cents. And eventually Gala will get to 25, 30, maybe even $1. And then I'll be making money. But the problem is, it's about balls, my brother. If you have no balls and you are just going to fold, then, you're not going to make any money. So, talk to me in 2024 and tell me that I'm wrong about crypto, because I don't think I've ever said that I'm investing in crypto for next week or next month. Never said that. Every time I say it, it's for a couple of years down the line, because it's going to take a little while for everyone else in the world to catch up. And when they start FOMOing in, we've been in on it at such an early stage, and our coins are going to go so much up that's when we make money. So there you go. Edwin, he says, I have it still. So then what are you complaining and whining like a little bitch about, dude? Why? Because your wife is picking on you? Bro, put on the pants. Put on the pants in your home, dude. Let's go. My wife knows. She knows this ain't for now, and she knows it's way down. And she doesn't stop me from reinvesting because she understands. Educate yourself and educate your wife, my brother. Stay strong. You'll be fine. Scared money don't make no money. Amen, Todd. Amen to that. Oh, you were wrong about Polkadot. Oh, Travis says, Big O is entertaining, but often wrong. Just the facts. I don't subscribe because he knows his stuff, only because he's funny and entertaining. Yeah, I'm wrong. I'm definitely wrong a lot, that's for sure. Let's see. What else do we have here? Tua has proven that he can play at an elite level in the NFL. Unfortunately, he's also proven that he can't stay healthy. St. Michael, you are 100% right. That's why you're a saint. You're right. Big O, do you do a lot of shows in the off season? Brother, this is a daily show.
Absolutely none. We do no shows.
You can tell the newbies, right? This is like a daily radio show that we add Dolphins pre and post game, and we add Canes pre and post, and we have off-season NFL coverage like the Senior Bowl and the Combine and that kind of stuff. And we went to the NBA Summer League in Vegas last year. That's what we are. We're a daily show, dude. Monday through Friday, every day, 10 a.m. It's a regular show every day of the year, period. We don't stop. We keep going. Well, this will stop once the Dolphins stop. Yeah, we won't be on Sundays, and then I'm off. But yeah, no, we're on every day, bro. This is a regular show every single day. Victor Huertas, have you seen Dave Hyde's stupid tweet about Armstead? No, what did he say about Armstead? Why are we killing Dave Hyde here? What happened to Dave Hyde? I know Dave. By the way, his sourpuss ways, he was right. I was hoping he was wrong because he was right from the beginning. He goes, oh, there's the same old Dolphins. And I'm like, oh, no, it's not. And he was right. It was the same old Dolphins. It sucks. What do we have here? To Teron Armstead out, meaning he misses the 2 biggest games of the year to injury, just as his 9-year portfolio suggests. His signing was a fail. Yeah, it's not dumb. You can't miss 5 games, bro. You can't miss 5 games, and they need you now to get into the playoffs, and you're unavailable. So, yeah. And this is nothing new. This was a chance that Chris Greer in the front office took. Okay? And it hasn't paid off. And I'm a Chris Greer guy. And I get it. There's not a lot of left tackles available. Like, you don't get a lot of franchise guys available that can play at a high level. And he can play at a high level, but he can't ever stay healthy. So you miss 5 games, and you're missing the most important game of the year to try to get into the playoffs. Yeah, man. Yeah, it's a failure. You can't pay a guy that much money, and he misses 5 games. There's only 17 in the season. So, no, I'm not disagreeing with Dave Hyde on that one. He's completely on the money. And I've talked about this with Teron Armstead that, earlier in when he missed the first couple of games, said, if this becomes a problem, it's a bad signing. And we all knew that this was a major risk. This is not a surprise to any of us. The guy's never played a full season. Okay? Teron Armstead is a quality human being, a leader of men, a hell of a player, unreliable, body can't hold up. Tua Tagovailoa is a hell of a quarterback, one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, unreliable, his body can't hold up. What are we going to do, man? Those are the facts. We all know it. And we've seen these kind of players before in the history of the game. Guys that are great players, but they cannot stay healthy. And he happens to be one of those guys. Hell of a player, but cannot stay healthy. So, yes, it is a bad signing. Unfortunately. If you can't stay healthy, you're not paying dividends for the team. Today's the day that you need Teron Armstead the most. You're trying to get into the playoffs, even though you're not going to make an impact in the playoffs. I get all of that. But you got a rookie quarterback back there that really needs a stout left tackle. And he's nowhere to be found. He's got 4 injuries. There's no other way to look at the Teron Armstead signing but a failure. It's not a good signing. He had to stay healthy in order for you to, and he has to be healthy in the right time of the season. He misses 2 or 3 games in the middle of the season, and you got a decent left tackle or whatever, you get by fine. But then he's ready for you at the back end of the season. Okay, great. How do you know let's just say you bring everybody back and you have a really good year. Are you sure Teron Armstead is going to be ready for you if you make it to the playoffs? Nobody knows. And that's the sad part about it. So, Dave has had that sourpuss point of view from day one, and it's paid off for him because the Dolphins played right into his hands. And as much as, I haven't bought into the Dolphins much at all in the last 20 years. Most seasons I'll tell you they ain't shit. And I bought into them this year, and I got burned. Steve Casson says, I wish I heard of you when I was in high school because I guess my body couldn't handle, or the coach made me return kicks and be a quarterback because I was very fast. I could pass, but knees kept locking. Yeah. So, the body isn't really made for football. And it's just and then sometimes some of us physically, we have whatever kind of ailments that may stop us from doing certain things. It sucks. It's depressing. Christopher Henry says, ODU basketball player collapsed on the court and had a heart attack the other day. Something weird is going on. No, dude, that's happened with Hank Gathers and others in the past that have. We had a guy in Minnesota years back collapse in training camp. I forgot the name of the lineman that collapsed. That's been going on forever. Just because you're, 25 years old and it happened now to you, or if you're my age and you don't know, well, then you just don't have perspective or you're misinformed. We've been having guys that have fallen with heart attacks for a long time now. Okay, and I'm not throwing in Len Bias, who included cocaine in there. I'm talking about straight up workouts and things like that. Yeah, we went through a period where people were worried about heat exhaustion with the Minnesota kid. Then there was a high school kid. There was a run on it several years back, like 10 years ago. So, and we saw Hank Gathers collapse right on the court. Some of you out there, you just, I don't know what you want. You want to, you're trying to play the conspiracy theories now, huh? We're going to come up with the stupid ass conspiracy theories. Is that what we're going to do now? Huh? I love some of you out there, huh? Some of you are just absolute dumbasses. Seriously. Let's go to Solo D. Let's break it because we already got the idiots coming in with thinking that they're going to start with some conspiracy theories. All right, Solo D, get us ready for a little Miami Dolphins and the stinking New York Jets.
Why you dissing on my team? You know we still up in it. Tour went down and come back around, just let them chill a minute. We all family, everybody sending thoughts and prayers. I bet he build back better, see my dog is rare. Tyreek Hill ain't scared, that's what he told reporters. And watch Teddy build a bridge to get us over water. The next man up, the best man up, it ain't no kind of sorta. Fly to New Jersey and our jersey stunting on New Yorkers. No disrespect to them, but see it's Jets week. And Jalen Waddle dance gon' win that SB. Since Zach Williams catching things, he bout to catch heat. That defense gon' slide on him, that's a jet ski. Melvin Ingram won a sniper, think Wesley. AFC East, we run from Maine to the West Key. Harry Week, another battle, but this the best beat. Wheelbarrow full of balls, it's time to test these. What? Talking like we done, we about to make a run. Word them up, but we going bananas. Is you crazy, son? Nah, kid, Dolphins a high commodity. We about to mob deep for our young prodigy. Bounce back, go beat the Jets. Bounce back, go beat the Jets. Bounce back, go beat the Jets. We ain't finished yet. Bounce back, go beat the Jets. Bounce back, go beat the Jets. Bounce back, go beat the Jets. We ain't finished yet. Who that?
He's so good, man. He is so good. He is an absolute natural, dude. Natural. Great lyrics, great beats, great production, all of that, man. Solo D, way to go, baby. Way to go. EJ Barrow, thank you for the love in the super chat. Oh, how about Mark Sanchez's job on calling games? He does a good job, actually. I like Mark Sanchez. Much better than the butt fumble. Yes. Yes. That's it. George Gonzalez, thank you for the love in the super chat. Is it the same old Dolphins, though? We've been lucky as heck. I think there's hope going forward, unlike other seasons. Too is the big question. What I mean by, and what Dave meant by, like it's the same old, like they cave in. I don't believe it's the same old Dolphins. I'm chugging this Kool-Aid. I think this is a good team that had all kinds of bad luck. Now, let's not kid ourselves. If Tua doesn't learn how to play the game the way he needs to, he's done. Okay? It's only a matter of time. He'll get knocked out enough, and he's done, and he'll get injured. Okay? If he doesn't learn how to get rid of the football, his career will be very short. I like this team. If we could get them healthy and get all these guys back, even without Byron Jones, I like this team. But the key is Tua. I'm a big Tua guy, but the one thing that I've always been worried about Tua from the draft was his injury history. Once they drafted him, I said, okay, well, it is what it is. You know, all right, they drafted him. The kid can play. I know his injury history, and it sucks. But let's hope for the best. And unfortunately, it has not happened in the first 2 years, 3 years, and the injuries continue to happen, and he can't stay healthy. And this year has been more about concussions, which is, even scarier. So if he doesn't know how to, get rid of the football so he can protect himself, I don't know how he has a long career. And then that's, I went on my rant, and if you want, you can listen to it. It's there on our YouTube page here. Some guy wanted to quit on Tua, and I went off on him. This team most teams can't just produce quarterbacks. It's really hard to find them, and I want Tua to stay. I want Tua to be back here next year, but you unfortunately are going to have to plan for a better plan B now. And that's the bottom line. I love this team. I think this is a pretty damn good team. It can make a lot of noise. McDaniel's got to become a little better of a coach, but without Tua, they're completely lost. They're not even close to being the team that they normally are without Tua. It's like an enormous difference running that offense. Devin Jordan, thank you for the love on the super chat. He says, Big O, I'm nervous as F. Please, God, let the Dolphins and the Bills win today. Well, Devin, I already laid the 8 points, bro. I have no doubts in my mind that the Bills are going to play out of their minds today. They're going to put a hurting on the Patriots. They're going to put on a show for Damar Hamlin today in the hospital. I can guarantee you that. The Dolphins, I can only guarantee you that the team will fight, because that's one thing I've respected out of the team is that they have fought throughout. They make a bunch of mistakes. They're not very good on defense. They're inconsistent on offense without Tua. McDaniel's inconsistent as a play caller. There's stuff I don't like about them that they need to correct, but they do play hard. So at least you'll get that, but I don't know if they'll win. My God, that's a whole different ball game right now. What's Jimmy Johnson on what if what Mike McDaniel did this year will be diminished if they miss the playoffs. Apparently that's being retweeted a lot. I don't want to play it. Can we play the audio of that? At least, Sean, can you pull that up? It's all on our timeline there. See if we can pull that up. Tell me if you have the audio, because obviously we'll get tagged for the video part. So we need to just play audio. It's not getting rid of the football. The hit against Green Bay was not a bad hit. Actually, it is getting rid of the football, St. Michael. That play happened at 4.81 seconds. Are we clear on that? 4.81 seconds. Get rid of the goddamn football, Michael. Yes. Yes. You have no business hanging onto the ball for 5 seconds. Just like he fumbled earlier in the game, Michael, and Hunt had to recover because you hang on to the goddamn football. Tua needs to learn. The play's not open. Get rid of it. Don't start scrambling. You're Baker Mayfield. You're the Hawaiian Baker Mayfield. You guys can't move. Drew Brees could not move. These are guys that cannot outrun anyone. That's why he got tackled by his ankles, because he was trying to bust out of the pocket, and a big fat guy caught him. And why can a big fat guy catch him? Because he's more athletic than Tua. Because he's more athletic than Drew Brees. Because he's more athletic than Baker Mayfield. Make a decision, make a play, or get rid of the football and throw it at somebody's legs. But if you're going to hold it for 5 seconds, you will bust your hip, you will bust your ankles, you will have concussions. It's really simple. So, Michael, it has everything to do with getting rid of the football. Make your 2.5 second, 3 second decision and get the hell out of the play. Live for the next play. As I said earlier in the week, you're not Brett Favre. You don't have his durability. You don't have the elusiveness of Pat Mahomes or Russell Wilson. So since you are neither one of those guys and you can't fly like the wind like Lamar Jackson, get rid of the football. Baker Mayfield could not outrun an overweight cop. Are we clear on that? Okay? Some fat dude with a badge and a 25-pound belt with 5 donuts in his belly and 3 coffees caught Baker Mayfield. Why? Because Baker Mayfield can't outrun anything. And Tua Tagovailoa is the same player, just like Drew Brees. They're unathletic. They don't have great feet. He doesn't understand that. He doesn't get that. And that's why he gets in trouble. Make your decision and get the hell out of the play quickly. That's what he's got to do. What were you going to say, Sean? You ready?
I was going to try this, see if the audio comes through. I don't know. Let's see.
Try it. Jimmy Johnson on Mike McDaniel. I guess nothing. Are you playing it?
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
No. Okay. All right.
Nope. No, man. Ain't no happening. Okay?
All right.
Ain't no happening. Maybe I could do it on my end. Let me try it on my end. Hold on. Let's see. Let's see. Let me see what I got here. All right, it's just going in circles and circles and circles, and there you go. All right.
Not hearing anything yet. I don't know if you played it yet or not.
I don't know. Did you hear that at all? Were you able to hear that? No? Were you guys able to hear that? No, it's not a no. Okay, no. All right. Well, Jimmy Johnson basically said it would be a crime to let go of Mike McDaniel. He likes Mike. I agree. Listen, does Mike need to tweak some stuff? Yeah. But the way he handles the offense is way better than anything Jimmy Johnson ever did here. So, yeah, you guys didn't hear it. Well, you know what? Even better, I got to hear it, and that way I can tell you what he said, and Sean and I avoid YouTube even tagging us for something. So, really, right, Sean? Isn't that the best thing? That, we don't get to hear from YouTube. So, basically he said that the players like Mike McDaniel, that he's done a good job overall. He obviously, it's hard to win in this league without a quarterback, and so he's talking about the Tua injury. And so he said that it would be wrong for them to move on from Mike McDaniel, which I agree 100%. Okay? I can pick on some of the stuff that I'm not happy with Mike McDaniel, but I'm not ready to give up on the poor man. It's his first year. I think he's a good dude. I think he connects well with players. He's just got to do a better job on his end as a coach to get some of these guys prepared. That's all. And I don't mind giving him another year to see if he can, better this kind of stuff up. Okay. How does this show not have maximum bandwidth? We have maximum bandwidth. That has nothing to do with maximum bandwidth. You obviously don't understand maximum bandwidth. It has nothing to do with it, sir. But appreciate it anyways. Thanks for the misinformation. Gary R. says, instead of listing Armstead's injury on the injury report, it would be easier if they listed the body parts that are healthy. No, there's not too many of them. It'd be a really short list. St. Michael agrees with Jimmy Johnson. Seth Richland says, 1970 to 2020, those cardiac issues, 2020 to 22, those cardiac issues, it's more than 2 years. 50 years. I've enjoyed your show a long time, but as you said, do your reading and be what are you saying? What are you saying? What cardiac issues? Cardiac issues have been going on forever in sports. What? Big O, what would the Dolphins have to do if they wanted to change divisions? Brother, what you think I'm going to entertain a stupid ass question like that? First of all, they don't control where they want to go and what divisions. Come on, man. Some of you like, what is this, man? Brother, call some show out there that likes to play hypotheticals. You obviously don't know this show. I don't play that stupid hypothetical game. And plus, hypothetical game like misinformation, like stuff that you can't do. Johnny Rotten says, hope Thompson with his first full week of practice. I guess you're saying you're hoping that he plays. Oh, there you go. Plays good and better. I hope so too. We'll see. We'll see. Tommy Mayer says, damn it, just dropped all the chicken wings on the floor. Well, wait a minute. 5-second rule is just sprinkles. Come on. 5-second rule, dude. What's wrong with you? Pick them up quickly. Nobody's looking. You're good. You're at home. Now, if you happen to be at a restaurant or, well, yeah, then, they're toast. But you're home, 5-second rule. You pick them up quickly. As long as see, that can't happen in my house with all my dogs. Oh, my God. I'd be fighting dogs, trying to pick up chicken wings. My little dogs, I know what they'll do. The little dogs grab the wings and run or grab whatever, any piece of food, and then they scatter. And they go to a corner somewhere where they won't be bothered. And then they have fun with their bone or whatever it is but in this case, it would be chicken wings. Yeah, that would be kind of dangerous in my home. If you have a bunch of dogs, well, you know how it is, right? Dogs are like, they're just looking for one piece of rice to fall off the plate or your spoon or your fork or whatever. Doesn't matter. A Maduro falls. Oh, man, they're in heaven. Got to be careful. Travis says, I'm out of losing patience for real. Bad decision-making from a head coach in big games is a no-no for me. Unfortunately, as a Dolphins fan, it never ends. See it now, not later. I thought McDaniel, says Todd, was some running game guru. He can't implement single wing football to win with Skyler. Well, it's not only it's not a matter of whatever type of running game you want to label it. It's when it's working. Why the hell do you not keep it going? That's the part that's like, baffling to me. How do you not keep it going? That's the part I don't get, ladies and gentlemen. So I hope he does a better job of coaching today. We're going to be back later on in the afternoon. All right. At right the second this game ends, we will go live. Sean Stanley and myself. We will have Cameron Wolf and Marcel Louis Jacques coming out of the locker rooms with all the latest. So we'll get the insight from them. We'll get you any reaction from Mike McDaniel in the press conference. And obviously, if he loses, it's going to be an ugly one. So we got a lot of things to talk about. Let's all hope for a big win. Hey, UK Phinz fan, UK Phin Nation, it's all on you guys today. I wore the UK Phin Nation shirt today for good luck. So let's do it. We'll catch you guys when the game ends. We'll see you later on the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins pregame show.
This has been the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins pregame show on the Sports Talk 305 network. The show is mastered by Sean Stanley and Chad Show. From home to kitchen to bathroom additions and remodelings, get in contact with one of the best contractors in the business. Call Eric at ejdconstruction.com, 305-433-4843. Please subscribe to our platform by searching Big O Radio Show on all digital avenues. We'll be back with a complete wrap-up of the game once the last second ticks off the clock. Thank you for your support and enjoy Dolphins football.